We back at y'all. Yeah, watch the first video. This is part two.
Part two.
Get into what we're gonna do.
Part two.
Is this currency you got pumping in the background?
This is definitely the hot spitter, man. If you don't know about currency, you might want to check them out. But yeah, man. This probably gonna be one of the more important segments. You know, we're gonna have a little story every week.
Every week.
Told y'all we're gonna have something for y'all every week.
Every single week.
Some stuff you might have heard, some stuff you might not have heard. So, you know, we're gonna talk about the NCAA and the athletics
or the modern day slavery.
You know, it's there's a lot going on right now in the NCAA, man.
A multi-billion-dollar industry where they don't pay the athletes for risking their bodies.
Don't forget now, we're talking about kids.
We're selling jerseys with their likeness but without their last name, and they're profiting.
I mean, they're growing to young adults.
And they're just kids. Selling, and they're just basically giving them free tuition, which is good. They're also giving them free food, but at the end of the day, how can you knock these young kids from the ghetto?
Most of them from the ghetto. Most of the popular players.
Single parent home most of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So how can you knock these players for taking a $25,000 bribe? But it's
they're
more
not
like
even getting that much.
It's about, it's like a
Johnny got that much.
Yeah. We're not gonna talk about Johnny.
Getting like $8 and $12.
Johnny
man.
from oil money. Johnny from that oil money.
These dudes getting $8 to $12 an autograph. Man, that is terrible.
How much time he missed?
That's lunch money.
How much time did he miss?
Who?
Johnny, how much time?
Johnny football missed 1 quarter.
1 quarter.
He missed 1 quarter. That was his punishment.
Wow. Okay.
Gurley got banned from his school. He can't do nothing with Georgia athletics.
And I think I heard he's about to make it reinstated. That's what I'm hearing on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that earlier.
That would be awesome.
Reinstated.
That would be awesome for him.
I think he was able to return to practice today. But I'm going to stay too. Check that on your local.
We're going to have to check that. You know, we'll have an update on that next week. You know, because it'll be a lot that happens between now and next Wednesday. So, you know, stay tuned for more updates on that for sure.
But you've got to think about it. Now that we have Jameis Winston, as we were talking in our previous segment, they're on a witch hunt for this guy. Basically, that's how they even call it. Think about everybody who's been suspended previously for ill-advised money or allowances given.
True.
You have Dez Bryant for talking and having a conversation with Deion that he didn't tell the NCAA. Yeah. You have AJ Green for selling his jersey. You have Gurley to Cam. You have
Cam.
You know,
Cam is computers.
his computer screens. But I mean, it just shows you in the NCAA.
Jameis.
I mean, they don't.
These guys, man.
They need to let these young players just play, but not. There's so much pressure, and they get so much money from these athletes, these children. You know, so my thing is that I think when the NCAA they need more mentorship to these young players. You know, there's good systems involved, and them playing. You know, they have a school set up, but I think this needs some mentoring. I mean, because they or start giving them more.
So who's going to mentor them? Well, you think they can somehow get the pro athletes involved, or they get alumni involved?
Let's try to get the alumni or even former.
Because you know, like they was doing that at Michigan. I'm sorry, not Michigan. At Miami for a while.
Okay.
You know, with
Ray Lewis,
Ray and Michael Irvin, and you know those guys are like going back. You know what I'm saying? Afterwards, you know, just to talk to the kids and stuff like that.
And that's critical because you have these young men. They're young men, and they're bound, and they have the agents. If it's not the agents, it's the scouts. If it's not the scouts, it's the homies. You know,
forget about the boosters.
I mean, it's the boosters. Everybody want a piece of them.
Yeah. So, especially the boosters.
Yeah,
that's what got Todd Gurley in trouble.
But yeah, and especially I think it's not a setup, but I think if we had more funds for these athletes, I mean, not saying let's pay them $1 million a game, but let's make sure that they're comfortable. Yeah. You know, there's like there was an article with Shabazz Napier said there's some times that he went to bed hungry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I mean.
And these dudes are like the premier players in college athletics, man, and they trying to eat. Come on, people. If you charging $8 to $12 for your autograph, now mind you, let's talk about Johnny right quick. Johnny Foosball.
Yeah.
What's up, Johnny? What's up, Johnny? See, Johnny was getting like $10K for his autograph. So I mean, you know,
1/4.
He had some good folks in his corner. You know what I'm saying? Somebody brought up a good thought the other day to me about Johnny Manziel. If you put him beside George H. and George W. Bush, they look alike.
Yeah, you never like the younger version.
Actually look alike the whole time. But hey, you never know. But I'm just saying he was getting $10K for his. But man, when you charge it, now this guy. Let's talk about Gurley for a second. This guy was ranked the #1 player in college football.
They say he's the best.
Which is the Heisman. You know, if you're #1 in the Heisman, you're the #1 player in college football.
They say he's the best running back to possibly come out since Adrian Peterson.
So, I mean, if you're the #1 college football player right now, because you are #1 for the Heisman. I mean that it changed, but it was going to be 2 or 3 people. He was going to be in the mix.
I have a stat for you. You know, it's an all-time leading rusher, not rushing yard, but rushing yards per carry in the SEC ever.
Who?
Bo Jackson was 6.9 yards.
What up, Bo?
But guess who's second?
Bo knows.
Guess who's second? Todd Gurley.
Really?
6.8. So he was on his way to his Heisman Trophy.
That's
crazy. But at the end of the day, he's going to be a top 5 pick.
$8 to $12 an autograph, people, is what they're saying he was charging.
To see Gurley get drafted by
How much is that autograph going to be worth in 2 years? It's going to be crazy because if he goes in the league and goes off,
which he will,
smooth off, which is very possible, he's probably going to be one of them fantasy guys.
Yes, get into that later.
If he does that, then his autograph is going to be worth so much more money. So if he's charging $8 to $12 now, don't you think the man might just want to get a good meal, you know what I'm saying? Some pasta, maybe. I don't know. No ramen.
Ramen
you
noodles.
know, we in college, you eat a lot of ramen.
Ramen noodles. So what you know is the delicacy when you got the mac and cheese.
See?
Put the mac, you got the mac, got the little cheese, the artificial cheese.
That's terrible. So, come on. $8 to $12, that's a lot. So, it's really nothing that these kids can do. You know what I'm saying? They, a lot of times, they're just trying to get by. So, it actually sounds like he did it because of the amount that he was charging. I mean, and a lot of athletes, a lot of the college athletes attest to, you know what I'm saying?
It's difficult.
Yeah, what life is like for real.
Difficult
even though you playing, and they do feed you sometimes, but they not feeding you all the time. They taking care of your room and board, your classes and your sports stuff. That's it. That's all they taking care of. The food stuff.
Money that they
get
make,
no food credits and all that stuff.
The money that they make. If you go to a BCS bowl, the school gets $25 million, like some outrageous number. So if room and board for a college student, let's say it's like $60,000. So I'm not good.
And that's depending on where you go.
I'm not the best at math, but they're like 52 players, 60, 70 players. So if you think about it, $25 million, that's not with net sales for tickets and boosters, the alumni and funding, government funding. The colleges are making money. They're making money off these athletes.
TV's making money. Everybody's making money. Nike's making money. All of the merchandising, everybody's making money off these boys.
They're not making money off even
video games. They can't even eat, man. Video games too.
I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do with that Ed O'Bannon case that's currently in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, because they say right now in Georgia's sports, little sports center on their campus or whatever, the little sports area. They say his Gurley's jersey, even though his name is not on it, it's going for $139.
Look at that, folks. $139.
This man ain't getting no money. His name ain't on it.
We know who jersey
if you buy the jersey, you know who jersey you buying. You know what I'm saying? That's like
buying an Arsenal jersey.
Yeah, that's like buying
a
number 1 jersey. It's like buying a number 1 jersey for Michigan, or it's crazy. Like if you know what you buying, you know what I'm saying. But it's nothing he could do. You know what I'm saying. He could just. I mean, I'm hoping you say he's supposed to be
Yeah, I heard he was getting off
practice.
Yeah,
so
practice.
hopefully he back at practice. We talking about practice.
Practice.
Yeah, hopefully if he can get back to practice, he might be able to get on the field and he might be able to contend for
definitely dynamic.
The Heisman. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something to be looking out for. But did you catch the 30 for 30, man, on Boston College?
No, I didn't catch much of it.
Man.
Yeah.
So this stuff has been going on for a long time.
Okay.
Boston College got involved with the mob. Henry Hill had some goons, man. And these dudes was at Boston College. He got with one of the players, and he bribed the one player. I think the one player had got in contact with one of the other mob people doing something shady.
So he got mixed up with both.
Yeah, he got mixed up with something shady with the mob, and the way he was going to be able to pay him back was to start shaving the points. So, you start doing that, and then it got to Henry, and then Henry was running a little set, and, eventually it went from one player to 3 players, and 6 players, And everybody was on the payroll, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was on the payroll, man, and it was one guy. There was one guy that was actually scoring all the points. He got to tell his story. I believe the guy he's doing something. He's doing something real good right now. I forgot exactly what he's doing right now, but he said he was the leading scorer for Boston College during that time period or whatever. I think it was, I guess it was for that season because it was just one season that it happened. So he was the leading scorer, and he said, if he had to look back on it and do it again, he wouldn't do it. But at that time, being 18 with no money, and somebody comes up to you and offers you $1,000 to miss a few shots or not hustle as hard,
money
you're
talks.
not going to take it. You know what I'm saying? And one of the games they were supposed to cover the spread, and they end up not covering the spread because they didn't want to lose to the worst team in college basketball at the time. So it was crazy, man. So I don't know, if y'all watch 30 for 30, man. I mean, all the 30 for 30s are always awesome. Shout out to ESPN for I'm telling you,
I watched that.
It's like man drama. ESPN is cray. The 30 for 30 series
definitely
on the one. If you've ever seen any of them, classic stuff, man. And
speaking of ESPN, can you talk about our boy Mike Tirico?
Oh man.
So
Tirico.
I'll let Delonte tell the story, but it's Mike Tirico, man. Like Mike Tirico, Syracuse, Monday Night Football, Mike Tirico. You've seen Mike Tirico, right? We've all seen Mike Tirico. If you haven't seen Mike Tirico, look at Mike Tirico. Google Mike Tirico. There's only one Mike Tirico.
There's only one Mike Tirico, folks. And anybody that has seen Mike Tirico knows that he's a black guy, right? Yes. I mean, from first draw, if you saw a picture of him, I mean, if you haven't seen him, I'm going to tell you, Mike Tirico is a black guy, right? He looks like a black guy. So, like Pat said, you could go Google him if you want to see, if you don't know who he is, but go check him out. So this guy decides to come out and say that he's a full-blooded Italian. Yeah, Italian people.
Italian.
Like I said, if you see Mike Tirico, he don't really look like an Italian. Yeah, I mean, he could have some Italian blood. You never know. People have
Sicilian,
all kinds of blood, bloodlines and different ethnicities. Yeah. Different
cultures,
cultures and stuff. So he might, but. He says that he saw.
I gotta say something. I want to make an announcement, guys. I am full-blooded Norwegian. I am a full-blooded Norwegian. I'm not a black man. No. So when the next time I get pulled over by a cop, I'm gonna say, "Officer, what are you doing?" I'm Norwegian.
You're terrible, Pat.
I'm Norwegian.
Talking about he's Norwegian. But, I mean, essentially, that's what Mike Tirico did. He take this guy and say he's Norwegian. He's not Norwegian, people. You can see that this guy does not look Norwegian. Now, he could have some Norwegian bloodlines, but he's not Norwegian. You know he's not Norwegian. So, Mike Tirico, like I said, go Google him. The guy's not Norwegian, but anyway.
Can we put him on a pine? No, we can't. We can't put him on a pine, can we?
Mike Tirico is definitely on the pine. He's on the pine list for this week because this guy, he said he seen a picture of his father's mother, his aunt, his father's sister, and his grandmother. So, and he said that they're all white. And any pictures he's ever seen of any of his family members, they're white. So it's interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Very much so.
That he's black, and he's saying that his mom, dad, he said his dad left, but he said he met his dad, but his dad left when he was younger. So,
on the next morning.
You are not the father whole time.
That's what his money dance came out. He was not the father.
I'm telling you, I don't know about Mike Tirico, but I mean, hey, if he stay a full-blooded Italian, then yeah, more Italian to you, brother. But yeah, we'll be back, man. We about to take another little quick out, and we'll be back for the big NFL fantasy.
Fantasy.
Let's go.
Let's go.